I think I've heard Josh Smith talk about the telly as being the instrument that he chose as it was something that allowed him to kind of get away from a little bit of his overbearing influences like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimmy. Like the Strat had so many iconic players that the telly for him didn't have as much baggage. I think that's quite an interesting concept.
This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses.
Another viewer-inspired video. I've had Sharif in my DMs kind of saying you don't play your Telecaster enough. I think this seems to be, I think, his favourite guitar of mine. So this is a K-Line Truxton, which is obviously heavily inspired by a Fender Telecaster. And the Fender Telecaster, I think, is an underrated instrument. Obviously, we've all seen Telecasters all over. It's an iconic design, I would say. Maybe not as iconic as a Strat, maybe not as iconic as a Les Paul. But in a lot of ways, I think it's possibly even more versatile than both of those instruments. And what mean by that really is it's sort of like the ES335 in that if you see someone pick up a Telecaster, do you really know what kind of sounds they're going to make out of it? You know, it could be country, it could be jazz, it could be metal, it could be pop, it could be punk, it could be indie. You know, it could be any genre at all. It could be jazz. I probably already said jazz. Did I say jazz? I might have said jazz. But the Telecaster, super versatile. And so I kind of just wanted to do a little video, just, you know, talking about Telecasters for a bit. Typically, you have your three-way selector. I think the original Esquires and stuff, they just had the bridge pickup, and they still had a three-way selector that would do slightly different things with the volume and tone. Then once it became the Telecaster or Broadcaster and then Telecaster, they added this additional pickup. I think that's the way around it went. And then, you know, you involve that as well. I think the neck pickups in original tellies used to be even darker as well. A mod I quite like is to just stick a Strat pickup in there, kind of just opens things up in an interesting way. Another thing that I'm going to show you or play in this video is this is a telly tuned down to E flat, which actually has quite a cool sound. if you've never tried that either. But plug into a 1965 Fender Pro Reverb, and now it should make some noise. Okay, right, so our neck pickup. Our middle position. Our bridge. I think the bridge pickup, particularly of a Telecaster, is an underrated gem, and maybe a little bit of a secret to things like Robin Ford, who is really kind of a bit of a bridge pickup. It's just got such an open sound. So if you dial your things in to sound kind of awesome with your bridge pickup, that can be a really good way forward with the Telly. And that took me a while to kind of discover, actually, because to me it was a little bit on the bright side, but if you get used to that brightness, it's actually a super dynamic. It's like the ultimate no bells, no whistles guitar, which is like, well, what can you bring to this thing? Can you make this thing do what you want it to do? It's really just an interesting design for me. The area that, for me, I don't know, for some reason it feels even like a little bit less accessible than a Strat, but getting up to the dusty end of the fretboard is a little bit of a challenge, although, you know, I can get there, but there's like a handful really here with this at the 21st fret. Like, I am getting a full handful of heel. And I feel like on a Strat I'd probably feel a little bit more comfortable up there for some reason. I'm not exactly sure what it is. Are they joining at the same place still? I think they still join at the 17th fret. It's just something about it feels a little different. Maybe it's just me. crank that volume. I think I've heard Josh Smith talk about the telly as being the instrument that he chose, as it was something that allowed him to kind of get away from a little bit of his overbearing influences like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimmy. Like the Strat had so many iconic players that the telly for him didn't have as much baggage. I think that's quite an interesting concept. I think the Telecaster is overrated. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know your favourite telly players. And your favourite pieces of art created with the telly. I'd love to know your thoughts. Cheers for stopping by.